I like helping people with their education because they need to learn more so they can move on in life.
Since I was in year 2, I was trying to help a lot of people because everybody in this world should have education so they can be as good as they can.
It is a good idea because you're teaching people, and while you're teaching them, you're learning yourself.
I think that I'm going to be a fantastic peer tutor.
Over a period of 6 months, we follow the journey that children from Victoria Park Academy and Reedswood Academy, both in the West Midlands, take to become effective peer tutors. Many of the children are in receipt of pupil premium. As we see them grow from their initial 2-day UFA training, we discover how being a peer tutor benefits these children and, in turn, their school.
As a school that's been on a journey from special measures to outstanding, one of the things that we learnt pretty early on was to involve the pupils as key deliverers of the provision that we put in place in school. And the children in this school have superb attitudes for learning, and we wanted to take that to the next level.
What we have to try and achieve this time is really, really good communication.
I've always been very aware and followed the work of UFA, and this just seemed the perfect opportunity to go into partnership with them and to help us to put into place our vision.
Ooh, doesn't matter. Prior to this training, we talked to the staff about what they can do to support those young people beyond the training, because this really is the start point for that peer tutoring journey. When they come along to the training, they can look to being able to replicate that. And so they will go on from today and train another further cohort of peer tutors up. And they will also then support these young people as they go through the programme.
The 2 pupil training days have been phenomenal. We've even had a discussion this afternoon about how certain children in a school environment are quite quiet, but in this environment have stood out. What really got us excited about the UFA was that it allowed children to not just be a leader, but lead other children in their learning.
The people who went on the course, we had to teach them what a peer tutor is, how to be a peer tutor, and if they pass, what they have to do.
The seed that UFA planted is growing quickly, with our peer tutor cohort already stepping up to be peer trainers for the next wave of tutors. Together, they'll be supportive maths medics across the school.
Over lunchtime, I just quickly typed up all of your ideas and put them onto the smartboard. Go on, Ali, man, read the first.
Be patient, polite and positive.
Fantastic, thank you. So we've been looking at mastery and trying to improve that in the school and giving children an opportunity to look at maths and have the opportunity to catch up on misconceptions that they had during the day. Does anybody disagree with anything? The UFA trained years 4, 5 and 6, and today's been interesting because they've disseminated that back to years 1, 2 and 3. When they fed back, it was obviously the important things that had stuck with them. So they talked about things like teamwork, having great manners, about encouraging, that when somebody doesn't understand something, it's not a negative, it's a positive, about how not to let the power go to your head.
So what are you going to say to Sienna now?
Your turn.
And Natalie's going to be our benchmark for quality. Natalie was part of the training, but now that we've rolled this out onto other classes, it's important for me now to make sure that that quality isn't diluted.
We've had programmes in the past, like, for instance, peer-assisted learning, but I think because this is so focused on the children, learning how to become tutors rather than just go and teach these children. So the children feel more equipped to deal with delivering the lessons.
We learnt what a peer tutor does and what you need to be able to do to be a good peer tutor.
So you are going to be doing one of your maths medic sessions.
This week's quite exciting because we've had children coming in excited about when can I start the session.
Do you want to have a go and come up with the success criteria?
So this is what's expected. It's not just a child helping a child. This is almost like a qualified teacher helping a child.
Could you quickly run through the times tables with them?
You could give them a bit of snappy maths, yeah?
So I think over the next 2 or 3 weeks, Natalie will support the peer tutors, and then as they grow in confidence, I want them to be more like facilitators, where they're just watching and stepping in if needed.
Right then guys, we're going to have another session of mathematics.
Next to Reedswood Academy, where the Peer Tutor Initiative is concentrated on supporting literacy through reading. We catch up with the tutors and their Key Stage 1 tutees in the inspirational setting for their work together, the school library.
At these sessions, every time like about 3 o'clock, we get our tutees, so I get Atif, and we'll come to the library. I'll tell Atif to read this and I'll tell him questions so then he can be better at his reading. What do they find here?
Chess. You have to be kind with the peer tutor. You can't just be angry. It's not their fault. We have to give them the questions, and if they don't answer it properly, then you don't be mad. You have to just play, some games with them and then cheer them up, and that's when you get their respect and our respect.
Who hates to be kept waiting? Deb. Somewhere at the top here.
Since I've become a peer tutor, I'm not shy, I'm more confident, and I know that I need to take on more responsibility.
Who do they think the people were?
Some of the things I like Alia because she makes easy questions, and sometimes she makes like hard questions, and she lets me look in the book, so then I can find the answer for the question.
This project gave us an amazing opportunity to work with children that we wouldn't normally work with. The pupils that we have chosen have grown in confidence. They're able to empathise more. They've had to learn in more depth of certain subjects and concepts to be able to deliver them to other children, so they've been able to master topics easily as well. There's a boy in Year 4, he said to me that he didn't have the confidence before to even partake in a group discussion, let alone have a one-to-one discussion with someone. He's enjoying communicating with the children, he's got more friends, he's happier, and he said now, even when it's not tutor work, he's able to have the confidence to communicate in group discussions.
Okay, so it's going to be 145.
One child who's made a big growth within their confidence is Lashan. Since we started this project, she was very quiet, so asking her to work with different children that she wouldn't necessarily work with on a daily basis was an interesting and challenging concept for her. So over the time that she's worked with them, she's actually made more friends, she's more confident. It's quite sweet actually when children walk past, they almost give her a nod and look at her as respect as if she was a teacher.
The original cohort of peer tutors from both academies is meeting with UFA to evaluate their time in the role so far. Lashan takes a lead, reflecting on her time as a maths medic peer tutor.
As a maths medic, I feel responsible because I get to be the one teaching, which I think makes being a maths medic really enjoyable, especially when I get to teach my friends.
The UFA's help's been invaluable, and when UFA came, they set their stall out, they made it very clear the expectations of a peer tutor and what a child should be able to do. The activities were great fun, the children were buzzing with excitement, and I know if children are chasing me and other teachers because they want to do something without me having to chase them, then you know something's going right.
It's not a quick fix. This isn't all about us trying to come up with some kind of maverick way of closing the attainment gap. This is about providing real, secure, long-term school improvement.